Hey, Bruce. Chris Chapman, Fox Sports Las Vegas postgame show. It seems like everything's going right for Ivan Barbashev tonight. He told us he tried to pass the puck twice, but somehow the puck ends in the back of the net. Just what have you seen from his game the last 4 or 5 nights that have really impressed you?
Well, I'd say more than 4 or 5 nights. He's been very consistent. Has very few off nights for us. He's found a way to have the necessary skill, hockey IQ, all that to play in the top line, and still does the job on the walls. Doesn't need first power play duty to get his points, so it's a lot of 5-on-5. He does play in the second unit, but he's got tenacity to his game, so he's just a good all-around player. Complements skill, complements north-south play. So, and he's still young enough so that part of his game is growing. And maybe he was there before, I don't know, but when we got him, he's certainly elevated.
The defensive effort tonight was really impressive. Just can you speak to maybe what practice was like the last couple of nights after the Utah game, and how much of an emphasis was there on really putting forth a really good defensive effort?
Well, there was a focus. Sunday was a day off. I think we needed to recharge the batteries yesterday. We worked on some 1-on-1, 2-on-2, some 5-on-5, some basic competition, D-zone, stick details, some reinforcing some habits that we weren't able to do. It's tough to do that in morning skate. We tried a couple times in very minor situations, but even then with manpower, it was hard to do. So quick video review today on Edmonton. I think we understand how they can create offense. One of the ways is through transition. We did a really good job managing the puck. That you can hardly practice. That's a mindset to make a responsible play. But the D-zone stuff, I think it showed in the third. A lot of the stuff we kept to the outside. Now, they made a few plays into the middle. I think we didn't get pucks out on the wall. We were in scramble mode. But generally, our structure was good. And so to revisit it is important when you haven't really practiced in probably, 17 days or something. So before I went on the road. So I thought the guys bought in very well and understood that I think that's how you beat Edmonton, personally. We would like to have generated more offense, obviously, but defensively we were solid, and Hilly was there when we needed him.
Danny, Jesse, Paul.
And Bruce, Danny Webster, Las Vegas Review-Journal, kind of building off that, you did talk this morning about limiting their transition, and I don't know if there's a stat out there that shows how many sticks on pucks that your group had on the back end, but to hold McDavid and Draisaitl to just one attempt, just how do you categorize this defensive performance tonight?
Well, it's one of our better ones of the year, and I think you have to against Edmonton. I thought we were very good against them up there, too. So, it's a budding rivalry. We know that, they have two, they have more than two, but two elite players that drive their offense. And then when you allow them to roam around and get, turn up and get their D involved. And so I thought our responsibilities, checkoffs, handoffs were very good. A couple of breakdowns where we duplicated. I know in the second period, and they got through the middle and got a good look. I think there was off net. I think that's the one Brown just missed. I think it was him at the far post. So we got away with that one, but that's going to happen. But for the most part, I thought we did our jobs well, and that's what you have to do against Edmonton. It's no easy task when David's coming at you that fast, and Draisaitl's a strong guy through the neutral zone. But we were able to check in layers against them, and I think that's when we're the most effective. And so I would say, if it wasn't the best of the year, it was pretty darn close in terms of what we gave up.
Jesse Granger at The Athletic, to continue on that defensive theme. You had Jack Eichel out there a lot against their top guys. How happy were you with how he played against them?
Very pleased. I mean, they were able to check a puck back and score a goal, too, in the 2-on-1. No matter how it played out, it was still an odd man rush that we finished, but it started in our end. It wasn't like a poke check through the neutral zone. It was good defensive coverage where we had numbers and caught their D being a little bit aggressive, and off we went. So Jack's played against Connor a lot in the playoffs. We're comfortable with that matchup. We like Carly against Connor or Draisaitl. So at home, we're able to control that a little more. Probably a game that I matched up more than I normally would. For that reason, I felt like after leaving here on Saturday after a 6-0 loss that we got to get back to details and habits, and I thought our guys did a really good job with that. So gave those two the responsibility tonight for the most part, what they relish. And you're not always going to get that matchup, but for the most part we did, and they do a good job against those two. They understand what it takes, how to get over top, and how to limit ice, because there's centermen too that want to create time and space. So just got to kind of think backwards how it is for them when they don't have that.
Paul, and Dominic.
Hey, Bruce, Paul Dos Santos, NHL.com. You mentioned numerous times Aiden's finding his game, just overall, just the big saves today. How do you feel his play also just gave your team a little extra juice on the defensive end?
Well, it will, and any goalie that plays well, like, no team is perfect. You're going to have breakdowns. You need that guy to be there for you at the end, and their guy was there too. We just got one more, and at the end of the day, that's required, because you can't play if you don't feel that your goaltender is there for you and supporting you, because then you'll be squeezing your stick all night trying to block every shot, and then everything's out of whack. So good for Aiden. His game's really come around. We've seen it in the last, 7, 8, 10, whatever it is, games. And, when he's on, you need that guy to be the backbone of your team. We hope we don't need him to stand on his head every night. You don't want that formula. That's tough on any goalie. But be there when we break down, and we'll go get you some run support. Now, today we only needed one. Good on him. But sometimes it'll be a few more, and that's usually the case. But, I think any team would tell you when their goalie's on, everyone's a little looser and can just play the game and move on if they make a mistake.
Hey Bruce, in the back, Dominic Laval, Las Vegas Review-Journal. So speaking with Aiden Hill, 2 games against Edmonton this year, 55 saves, 2 goals against. Speaking specifically about that, what's been working with him against Edmonton this season?
Well, I'm thinking back to that last game, and I remember our analytics were good. I remember my eye test. I felt like we played good defensively tonight. I'm guessing our analytics will be pretty solid. So what's been working is we've played well in front of them, haven't kind of extended sustained pressure shifts where he has to do too much. Make a big save for us, we'll get the rebound cleared for you. We'll take a breath and go back to work. I think he's been very square to pucks, but hasn't had to get into scramble mode, and that's a credit to the guys in front of them too. For the most part, I can't remember their last time, but we weren't in the box at all tonight, so a dangerous power play doesn't get a chance to get going up there. My guess is we weren't in it much either. So I think those are the things. Maybe he gets up a little more. He's from that part of the Alberta, Calgary guy, so there might be a little more juice in those games. Playoff memories, good memories, for whatever reason. Some guys have better numbers against certain teams for whatever reason, and those could be why. I don't know, only he can answer that.
Thanks, Bruce.